What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for joining us on JCTV Zimbabwe. As I promised you yesterday that I'm going to be having Apostle Chipunza here on this program, and we were going to talk to him about what is happening. And you remember I did a video a few weeks ago explaining what happened. But today, this is not the focus. We want to know who is Apostle Chipunza, what is his life, and I found something interesting about him. And I thought, let us talk to this man because in every situation you find that whenever something is being spoken about someone, you also need to hear their side of the story, and they are going to talk about it at a later stage. But right now, we want to he's going to join us very soon, so we want to talk to him about the business that he's doing in the Eastern Cape, and some things that he's doing for other Zimbabwean people, and what he's encouraging the black child or the Zimbabwean child to do in face of our rising unemployment in South Africa, a defunct economy that is in Zimbabwe. What can one do in order to free yourself from the tentacles of poverty? How can you use your hands in order to better yourself, or to find income for yourself? And he's going to be joining us very soon. I was with him right now, and he's just sorting one or two things. But I want you to send in your questions. If you're somebody who is very young, you want to know about farming, we're going to be talking much about his farming and his farm, and then we delve into other things. But this is the conversation that we're going to be having with him. So please stay tuned onto this program so that you can not miss out all the things that we're going to be talking about. To those that were joining us yesterday, did you enjoy the program that we had with Eric of Warmness yesterday? If you enjoyed it, please give it a like. Go and like it on other videos that we've done, and follow us on Facebook. I'm also overwhelmed with your support. I really love what you're doing. It's so interesting. So, as we are getting ready to have uh, Apostle Chipunza on this program, please share this video with your family and friends, and let them know that the man is here. He's going to explain. We might even delve into vernacular, but um, we are going to be talking much of it in English for much of our audience. But we also want you to follow us on these platforms, and also if you have if you want to be part of this program, please let me know on the comment section. Just send a comment and say, Jethro, I want to be part of the program, and I will be able to send you a link, and you can be part of the program. If you are a business person, this is what I've been doing, and I've featured a number of people on this platform. You remember there was Leon Kuchakanya, who has got a video where he's telling us about his business of vegetables. We also had Maidovi, a lady who is based in Zimbabwe, somebody who started the peanut butter business, and how she thrived and how she grew. You can go and check out that video. And the goal of this channel in particular is to make sure that if you're an African person, we, the Africans, are the ones that are supposed to tell our own stories. We know how we grew up, we know how we got into our communities, and how we managed to break that barrier of poverty going up in order to become someone. So this is the goal of this channel. We want our African stories to be told by Africans, and this is the reason why we bring people like this on the program, so they can tell us what is their story, and then we take it from there. So I'm going to add Apostle Chipunza here. He's going to be joining us right now, and we like to welcome him on the program. Apostle, how are you?
I'm very well, Baba. How are you? Good evening, and to your followers.
Uh,
Thank you for having me.
right. We are so fine, and thank you so much for availing yourself to be on this
Thank you.
program. Hmm.
It's an honor.
Right. Yeah, we spoke off air about a number of things, but what really kind of like struck me when I had a conversation with you was the business that you are doing in South Africa. But
Yes.
before we delve into that, I want to know who is Mr. Langton Chipunza. Can you just take us through how did you grow up and to be where you are right now? Can you take us just a journey of who you are?
Thank you so much, Baba. I'm Linton Chipunza, born and raised in Glenora, Harare.
Mm,
And most people will be interested, especially with the incidents that did happen, which I say to you that we can arrange another time and talk about it. But
mm,
it's also a challenge to have a conversation of how to make money in
mm,
farming, ignoring that
mm.
fact, because I've gained much audience based on the bad event that happened.
All
So,
right, all right.
some out of curiosity would want to know who is this person. And
Yeah,
no, I'm that person who is alleged to be caught pens down. And
yeah,
yes, I was beaten, and thank God I've recovered. So
yes.
maybe here and there we might touch on that issue. But as I say to you, that you are one of the journalists that I respect. You came, you reached out to me when the issue was still on heat, and I also
Yeah.
promised that I'll come back to you because I love the way you handle it with integrity. But yeah, this is me. So
Mm,
besides that story that will going to
mm,
give your audience much info and the latest developers that are coming up about it,
mm,
it's me. I'm the
mm.
person. My name is
Yeah.
Langton.
Mm.
In Glenora, Zimbabwe. Now I'm based in Eastern Cape. Just to give you
Okay.
just a bit background, I was born and raised in a very, very poor family. We were so
Mm,
poor that poor people were laughing at us. And
mm,
when I say poor people laughing at us, how can a poor person laugh at another poor person? There's
mm,
two Shona ways that I love that are more
mm,
different. Kune rinonzi rombe, kune
mm,
murombo.
mm.
Isusu murombo muna asina who has nothing.
Yeah.
But rombe muna nazo but agona kushandisa. So
Mm,
you can be both. You can be
mm,
poor and vagabond, or you
mm,
can be poor in terms of not managing resources and opportunities. But if you get opportunities, you can be somewhere. So in
mm.
Glenora, we were poor because we didn't have anything. And we were also
Okay.
poor because when my father gets salary on a Friday, you'd come
Mm,
back maybe Saturday or Sunday.
mm,
He was drinking and abusing. My mom would be, he would fight my mom every night here and there. Waita
mm,
mama donkey. So he was a gambler. So every time he
mm.
gets money, he goes to Machipisa. That's in is it in Highfield, where he would
Yeah.
spend all his salary in one night, and then tomorrow he comes and So I had 2 days after I was born, my mom tried to hang herself in
Mm,
those core houses in Glenora, no ceiling, there's those beams. So she took
mm,
electrical cable and then she used one of those being, I think it's rafter,
mm,
114 by 76, and then she tried to hang. So the neighbor heard
mm,
me crying, and then she says,
mm,
"Hey, how can this old woman who just gave birth leave the child unattended?" So she
mm,
came to look what was happening, and then she saw my mom hanging, but she was still breathing, calling another
mm,
neighbor who is a male to come and
mm,
cut off the rope. My mom was saved. Then they asked her, why do you want to kill yourself? You've got a boy, and we were just congratulating you recently. And then she opened the Pandora box. That, you know what, I still have that blood from giving birth in Davakurutsanana, that clinic in Highfield. I
mm,
haven't bathed. There's nothing to eat. I can't even breastfeed. So she was
mm,
given some coins. And then she started to do business to sell vegetables. So we were raised by
mm.
a woman who turned here. When life gave her lemon, she turned into lemonade,
Okay.
and she was entrepreneur. So we went to school. My brothers, most of my siblings went to Group A schools. I was the one who was not good in school. So I
Mm,
said to my mom, "Don't waste your money. I don't want to go to school. Rather, I would work for my brothers." So in that
mm,
same Glenora, I would do what we
mm,
call maricho, where you
mm,
work on Saturday someone's field, before Glenora C was extended with homesteads and what people used to have their small hectare or half a
Oh.
hectare. So I'd go and
Mm.
work in other people's fields in order to get something to eat at home. So that's how I
Yeah.
grew up. So I
Okay.
understand poverty from what is poverty and trying to run away from it. I remember at the age of 16, I left my
Mm.
father's house. I started to stay on my own. I became a hustler from a Chipisa. You sell fabrics, you do cell phones. I tried to hustle a couple of things. And then I got
Mm.
saved. 99, 2000, I went to Bible school. 2001, I got married. And when I got married, I was 20. My wife was 19. I remember the pastor
Mm.
who did with us was like, "This is a celebrity wedding. It won't last." And Richard is a Sunday school. And
Mm.
this year has been 18 years with my wife,
Mm.
Portia. Yeah, support. So now Portia is coming from a well-to-do family, but she loved the guy.
Mm.
Besides charming, besides smooth talking, I had a
Mm.
vision. You
Mm.
can be very broke and poor, but still
Mm.
in your inside, you feel like life can give me more if I push.
Mm.
But I was so broke.
Yes.
And then the
Mm.
unfortunate part or fortunate part is I came into a religious circle where you
Mm.
are brainwashed through theology and you
Mm.
become heavenly minded and earthly useless. They misquote
Mm.
scriptures like the songs we love when we sing on funerals. Hatina mushapanyika hatifari kuva pano dai ndina mapapiro ndaibhururuka. So such a message was what I received when I got saved. So now I want to be a
Mm.
businessman. I want to do something for my family. Then I felt the calling of God. Now I'm coming to a church where they said wealthy, prosperity, riches are associated with demonic and the pleasures of this world. And
Mm.
in my your background might be different, church
Mm.
wise. Mine, we were taught that poverty and holiness go hand in hand, and
Mm.
and so I became a pastor 4 years without a child. We were struggling, my wife and I. The church as a province would want us. Churches would fight for us. We
Mm.
thought they loved us, not knowing that we were cheap. We were like
Mm.
a short budget. One of the elders would say, "Well, one thing I love about this couple, when you buy them a half loaf, they can spend
Mm.
3 days with that." So the church would then use us for ministry, knowing that we are a low budget. And one of
Mm.
the things as well that the church did, which was so bad, was you
Mm.
keep the pastor poor in order to keep him humble. So I accepted that.
Mm.
I believe that. But
Mm.
inside me, I had that edge. I'm trying
Mm.
to rush with time. And then
Mm.
for 4.5 years, we didn't have a child. We saw miracles. God did a lot of stuff. And then I went to Domboshava Ngoma Kurira, where we used to pray in the mountains. I would ask my pastor, "How did you pay your lobola? How did you do this? How did you drive a car?" My pastor would say to me, or my then pastor would say to me, "Seek the face of the Lord, and all these things shall be added unto you. If you pray, So I believe that, and I would go into mountains. I'm praying, but nothing is happening. So I'm
Mm.
saying this to say to you and to your viewers that I tested poverty at a level where you feel the anointing of God, but you're broke, which leads to
Mm.
frustration. And
Mm.
if you're not very careful, you then manipulate scriptures in order to
Mm.
take money from people. Then,
Mm.
with that, God told us through a prophetic word that I will have a son. I will name him Matthew. That was 2002. And then my son was born in 2006. And the prophetic
Mm.
word was so detailed to say the year will have a son, and nations will open up. So from there, when my son was born, 2 months after he was born, I got an invite to go to Zambia to preach on a conference. From that conference, there were some guys from Dallas, Texas, who loved my preaching. And remember, I didn't write Form 4. I didn't have matric. I couldn't even speak proper English.
Mm.
In the church I would preach for 2 hours non-stop. But then if you are having a English audience, in less than
Mm.
5 minutes, you're running out of words. You've got 30 amens in one sentence.
Mm.
So having that background where you are poor, and then you get
Mm.
an opportunity to go to Dallas, Texas, in the United States, and
Mm.
this white community was like, "We love how you explain scriptures. We just love you're charismatic. Most things were polished up. So for us, me and my wife, when we saw that, that was an opportunity. We saw God taking us out of poverty. And then a few months, then we heard the Lord says, go back to Africa. I didn't call you for this. The system you are in, I'm not in that system. Go back to Africa. And I questioned God, because first thing that came into my mind was ndomwe kwa Chipunza, ndomwe urombe, ndomwe madzinza, Satan asikuda chinhu chakanaka. He doesn't want breakthrough. But then whenever God speaks to me, whether through a solid conviction or through a prophetic word, I question God to prove himself through scriptures. So I started to fight with God that, why have you called me yet I'm poor? I've seen miracles happening in the church, but I'm broke. In Zambia, up to today, my wife doesn't eat avocado, because we were in a house where in Zambia, the neighbor had a big avocado tree. Half of it was leaning in our yard. So by default, every avocado that falls in our yard was ours. So we'd eat avocado morning, afternoon, evening. You'd eat avocado with salt. You eat avocado with sugar. You eat plain. You put aromat, that spicy thing. And then I've tested avocado with pap, suds and avocado. You know, chansa is muriwo, and that was it. And now getting an opportunity where your nations open up. Yet there is a more, if not an agenda, there is something that there is strings attached to it. But this is gold, but there's a string attached. And then we felt that this is not for us, let's come back. But the issue was, come back to where? And then we came here to South Africa. I started to read scriptures, but God and poverty, I don't see it from scripture. So God started to show me from Genesis chapter number 1. I'm not here to preach to you. I'm here to talk about farming.
Okay.
But as an apostle as well, I just want to share how I landed into farming. It was also by default, where Genesis chapter number 1, God introduced the creation of a man, but chapter number 2 is the formation of the body. So man is a tripartite, where there's body, soul, and spirit. He was given the power to dominate and what. And then through the scriptures, then I saw that it is the desire of God for a man to prosper. But I didn't like the word prosperity, because in the church circle it was used in the wrong sense. We preach prosperity because we've got an offering basket. There is an event to give in order to do a church building, which is not wrong. So the whole idea of prosperity in the church is more like a scheme, where you're promising people wealthy, miracle money, and all this in order to take money from their pockets. So I was like, I don't like the word prosperity. God says, no, prosperity is not having a luxurious house, luxurious, car. Prosperity is having enough resources. So learn to be content with what you have, maximize resources, and manage your time. And then through scriptures, I started to open up where Apostle John says that I wish above all that you prosper and be in good health as your soul prospereth. Then I saw again that the level of your soul has something to do with the level of your physical body and how you prosper. You must do well. That will go hand in hand. So it's unfortunate that it is also used by the scammers that are using in the name of God, playing around with scripture. So I'm starting a church in the Eastern Cape. Eastern Cape in South Africa, it's one of the poorest provinces amongst the 11 provinces of South Africa. Yet we've got 2 harbors. So I'm here in PE. People are saying kunzima mfundisi, awukho msebenzi, hakuna mabasa. Church members are just down, and you need to empower them. And then I'm preaching holistic gospel, where your soul has to be saved. But what about your physical life? Because I cannot preach to you with a hungry stomach. Most of the Zimbabweans, if in the Zimbabwean community, they stand on the traffic lights with those boards. I'm a plumber, I'm a builder, I'm a painter. They get 150 per day. And these are the people that you're expecting to give in the church. Not talk about tithe is another issue that we'll talk about some other time. And for your own information, that my church members stopped tithing last year in August. So it's been more than a year now, because we're still working on it, because it was taken at the extreme when it comes to church doctrines and teachings. Now, we are teaching people that you can prosper, you can do something with your hands. God bless the works of your hands, but I'm not doing anything. So I began to pray with my wife that Paul was a tent maker. Peter was a businessman. He was running a family business of fishery. So he was supplying food industry. Yet he was an apostle. So why can't we do something? Yet when we preach the gospel, money will not be a challenge. You will not be used by who is giving, who is partnering with us. I need a clean gospel. I feel like I want to push the gospel because most of what we have inherited from our church fathers somehow seems to be biased. But now, by trying to rectify an error, we might make another error. But the basic is we need also to invest. It's godly to have houses. It's godly to build a legacy for your children. The Bible says in the book of Deuteronomy that a righteous man leaves inheritance for his children's children up to the fourth generation. So it is biblical to be wealthy and to be rich, but how you use your riches and how you accumulate your riches is yet to be questioned. According to scripture, the Bible does not say money is the root of all evil, but it is the love of money. So we started construction company, which did very well under Matme Construction. Word Matme is two words. My two kids, Matthew and Megan. So we started Matme Holdings. We opened Matme Construction, and then we did very well in Eastern Cape. Most of double stories we started to build, but I'm not a builder. I didn't know anything. So 2 years ago, we felt the construction industry closing, and we've got an invite to go to New Zealand and Canada, but I was like, no, I'm called for here. I've got these poor people. We need to grow with them. One of the blessings that I thank God for, we were not given rich people, we're given poor people that would grow with them. We have established them through the word of God. We've got a program in our church where it's called word therapy. You won't be a church member for more than 6 months and still working for someone. So we teach people how to be financially independent. So 2 years ago, I started a small project in a place called Kekud, where I was selling Mabero, those jackets and second-hand clothes. So I'd go there and I would sell Sunday. I'm preaching. I'd go with my wife. Construction is doing well, but there were some hiccups in construction. We are now considered as threats with the local people, where they'll say we are used as cheap labor. So people hire Zimbabweans more than the local people. I remember I sustained an injuries. I was hijacked. I was beaten. I was threatened. And then my wife felt, you know what? We have built houses. We have done this. We're driving that car. We are looking out for tags. Can't we do something that is quiet? So we didn't know what exactly to do. So we started this small business, a flea market in an area where it's more Zimbabweans that are working for orange farms, where they pick oranges and other fruits. So we go there with clothes. So they were doing vegetables. So I'll buy vegetables from them, and then I'll come and sell in town in PE. And then I'll buy second-hand laptops and phones to Keku, to the farms. From the farms, I'm coming back with veggies. Then I built a clientele where I became one of the big suppliers of big shops in terms of vegetables, spinach, rape, cover, the Zim community I'm supplying. And people would laugh at me. I remember I met a few ladies in Spa, and they were saying, Mpundis, Apostle, you sell veggies? And I'm like, yes, at least I don't sell drugs. As if it is wrong to sell veggies as a pastor, because you are seen on the pulpit. I last wore a suit and a tie last year, but I did a thing last Sunday after that incident. So I'm now used in working and wearing overall, as long as I'm building a legacy for my family and advancing the kingdom of God. So the need was there, but then we're running a short supply of vegetables. Then my wife was suggesting that why can't we look for a farm? Why can't we do it on our own? Because you are buying it from other Zimbabweans who are working in a farm, and in their spare time on weekends they do their gardening. Why can't we go full time? So we started to search for farms.
Okay, so in actual essence, before you even went into farming, you don't have any background of farming in your family.
Not at all. Not at all. I didn't grow up in the rural area. We grew up in Glenora. Hatina kumusha, takazotanga kuenda kumusha otakura for funerals and connecting with our cousins. So I didn't know anything. And then my wife grew up in Mount Darwin and Rusape, and she was running away from farming. So I'm keen in farming, and she doesn't like farming. Best because Zimbabwean farming is more labor intensive. We wanted to run away from the rural area,
Kusagura.
and this is yeah, exactly. And also for me, when white people came to Africa, I don't want to go into the politics, but I believe there are two groups that came to Africa. One group, I believe it was sent by God. They built infrastructure, schools, hospitals, and etc. But the other group came and used the gospel to take wealth from us. They took the land, and they built a city life where you go from the rural area. Was when I grow up, I want to run away from Kusakura. I want to go to the city. I want to go to the city. So you've got people that are migrating from the rural areas to the city. Yet in the city, there is a system designed by these people to enslave you. So I started to say to Zimbabweans in Port Elizabeth, I've got Zimbabweans in New Zealand, UK, they are struggling, Baba. Ma Zimbabweans are to Dubai, vari kukwangwaya. Let me give you the right words. I've been there, Baba. I've traveled the nations by the grace of God. Vari kutambura. So in here now, we've got somebody who's renting a house or a flat in town, paying 6.5 a month. They don't have a garden. So they're paying someone's bond in the narrative of I want to fake it till I make it. I want when people see me where I'm staying, some they stay in Kuku and they claim to do it Msoro Kumusha, and when someone passes on in this side, we've got an association where we contribute money and we take the body to Zimbabwe. We don't want a Zimbabwean to be buried in Port Elizabeth, so we contribute money. It comes to 60,000, even more. Depends with how you were contributing in other funerals. So then I started to see that, guys, we are not building anything. We are paying someone's bond because so we can't survive the city life. You're buying eggs, you're buying vegetables. Haukwanisi kuita tsunga, haukwanisi kuita ningirikini mbora, haukwanisi kurima a small garden because of where you are staying. You are staying in complexes. You are staying in a flat. And then we started to teach that with the church as we were starting also our small farm. So our personal journey now in the farming, we got the farm, 320 hectares. Much of it you don't grow crops. There are monkeys. It was an old game reserve, so there are wild animals, snakes all over, bed structures, and we wanted to grow veggies. Then we were told you can't. There are piggery or pig structures, so you can do piggery. I know nothing about pigs. My wife know nothing about pigs, but here we are. So we invested to get the land and the farm, but we didn't know how to run the farm. That was the biggest challenge. Now we're at the farm. My wife got sick. We didn't know what it was. She was losing her hair. My kids are going to school. From the farm to take my kids to school became a challenge. One day the car is not starting. The car is overheating, and it's about 47 k's from the farm to my kids' school. Now I'm sitting with the challenge. We need to eat. We need to run the farm. We need to maintain the farm. We cannot borrow from the bank because we're still paying bonds. So what we then did was like, guys, I can't afford a worker. I would rather work me, my wife, and my two children. Remember, my son was 13. My daughter was 9. To this year, my son is 14. So these are my first farm employees where we are working together, my wife and my kids. So my son was getting 450. My daughter was getting 350 rand. And we started to say, guys, here is the incentive, here is your salary. So they've got those junior accounts, FNB. So I'm on 350, I'm giving my daughter to wash the hogs because we clean the piggery. This is different with piggery we knew in Zimbabwe, or this is where you clean the pigs. You you bath them. So we started to research. My wife and I would Google how many kgs must you feed a pig, how much injections and things like that. And I was warned by neighbors, don't go big. You're starting small, so don't go big. So we started with only 2 female pregnant pigs, and we grew to 610 pigs. So we enjoyed the number. We enjoyed the number. So we moved from just a commercial backyard piggery to a commercial farmer. not
Yeah.
a small scale to a commercial farmer. But the challenges that comes with it now was now I couldn't now exhaust the family because this is too much. My daughter carries a 20 liter of milk because I use milk, sour milk. We've got a contract with the dairy farmers where if the milk is bad, we buy it at 60 cents a liter. That's what we feed
Yeah.
pigs. It is good protein. Then we've got also bread that we get from Sasco, and this a bread that is deformed or is not quality or less than 700 grams. So we buy it as a reject. We started also
Okay.
to use it, and then we started now to say, why can't we use a small place to grow rape, covo, evergreen, mora, okra, derere, so that we sell in order to get an income, because pigs are eating 2 kgs a day. So if you've got 10 pigs, you need 20 kgs a day. If you've got 100 pigs, you need 2 tons a day. So now
Sure.
we are struggling. We see pigs now, they're losing shape. If a pig does not eat for 3 days, it will lose shape and you lose value. Now we bring the pigs to an abattoir where the abattoir buys half price because he's taking advantage because we are desperate. Want to get rid of pigs. Now we are getting rid of pigs at a lesser money and we worked for nothing. So we started now, how do we count or account every cent? Then we brought other people like my mentor. I call him my father in faith because I don't believe in spiritual father. So he's my faith leader. So he started now to mentor us. No, do this, do that, do that. So most of it was by default. And we sell veggies. That's bread and milk. My wife is now feeding the pigs. So these are the workers I had and the workers I started with. And then from there, God began to open doors through, we started to diversify. How do we introduce other people? So we started now, late last year, I got an idea. I need to have more pigs, but I can't feed them. And I need to sell the pigs to get cash. So I have to grow maize. So we started to grow maize. We had 4 hectares last year of maize, and then we are
Okay.
selling maize. What is not right, then we crush it for the pigs. So we started now to see profit and things started to, and then would get workers, locals, and also other Zimbabweans. So things started now to take a shape. We would say, you know what, now let's live luxurious. So we moved the kids from the normal school to a home school where they studied at home. We cut the cost. It was also another deal that I'm selling also to my fellow Zimbabweans, the local people, where I pay 1,800 a month. There is no uniform, there is no transport, there is no stationery. They use a Zoom. It's like they're all in a class. We don't teach them. It's a direct live video and it's a whole class, and they're doing very, very, very well. So we started to learn new avenues, trying other stuff. We started to grow Lucerne. Lucerne, it's not, it's more like an indigenous crop. In Zimbabwe, you find it in Mashonaland, where Mashonaland East and West, where they were growing it for cattle and for goats. And then we saw that when you do that, it has got
Is it this
80%.
one? Is it?
No, that one is belly.
Oh, okay.
Bali. I also, because from the pigs, we now have people managing pigs. Now my kids can't sit because they are used. They have past 6. They are up. They must watch the pigs connect the pipes, open the pumps. Now my daughter, she's an animal whisper. She speaks with pigs. She massaged the pigs. She feeds. But some of those pigs were bought from other farmers. Some we raised them on our own farm. So some were violent. Some were would break the hogs. But my daughter would be like, no. When she spends a day in a hog with 10 pigs, massaging them and what she started to teach the animals. So it's like if people would follow my farm page, some of the videos are there. Now my son is saying, Daddy, I can't just sit. I want to do something. Then I said, what's your passion? Then he says, I want to try rabbit. So we started also rabbit farming. So he started with about 20 something rabbits. So that's where we started to use pallets. But from pallets, we wanted something that is cheap, because in poultry, piggery, fish farming that we are doing, you need to cut the cost on feeds, because especially on
mm,
pigs, 70 to 80% is on feeds. So you can't get
mm,
profit unless you
mm,
grow your own feeds.
mm,
So we then
mm,
started the belly. We grow that one that you showed now. It's in 7 days. You put in a tray, you spray the
mm.
water, and then you spray that
Okay.
after every 4 hours. 7 days
Oh, this
is
one.
right. That one, yes, it's 7 days now. Then you feed the rabbits. So we no longer buy the pallets. We are now feeding
Mm,
from, and that one you feed pigs as well. You feed the chickens. So my wife
mm,
was now asking me that, you know what, I miss what we were doing in pigs, because now
mm,
it's more labor. So we are cutting the
mm,
guys because they're tired. My daughter, my wife can't do that. What can
mm,
I do? And then I said, let's go for poultry farming. Let's
mm,
buy layers. We started with 200 layers. These are your layers. Manage it, and then they started to lay eggs. Now we have got
mm,
a big supply of eggs and
mm,
broilers. So we started with
mm,
broilers. We sold about 100 broilers 3 weeks ago, and then we've got another 100 broilers that we are releasing on the 20th, which is 4 days from now. So
mm.
our
Okay.
farm began to grow in different ways. It's no longer pigs. We are
Mm,
digging a small dam for fish. Because what's happening now, when we clean our hogs, all the
mm,
waste, the pig waste, it goes in a drain, and we are going to make a biogas. We'll be selling gas by the structures, if they're done correctly, by February. They were delayed because of the lockdown of COVID. So we want to
mm,
do biogas, and also some of that waste goes into the dam where we are having our fish. So fish are eating from what the pigs are throwing out, and also
mm,
from that we take, when we slaughter our chickens, we take the
mm,
the matumbu, the overalls, and
mm,
also from the beast, the cattle that we have, we put it in a bucket. We
mm,
allow the flies to fly in. After three
mm,
4 hours, the flies leave eggs. After
mm,
2 days, you've got maggots, makonye, which is a
mm.
good protein for the chickens. So what we are now
Ah,
seeing on our farm is we no longer buying much feeds, but we
mm.
are, there's an ecosystem. So from the
That
pigs,
is running on the.
exactly. So from the pigs we get the waste. From the
Mm,
waste we feed the fish, and also we use it to grow maggots, and also we use it as manure on our vegetables. Then we have got few
wow.
cattle where we are now milking. We launched our milk last week. On that one, that's me and my kids showing them this. That's the free range. We've got a free range pigs where they eat outside and they are fed on veil muzimbabwe tinoti mutuwi, soup
Eh,
kuti kana tichiita amasi,
eh,
lacto, that
eh,
watery that comes on top. That's what we
eh,
use to feed the free range pigs. And then the challenge now was, where is the market? How do we grow
eh.
the market? Because I was
Okay.
relying on, yes.
Before we even go there, I wanted to, because the reason why I brought you in here was that uh farming, in all this that you're telling us, and all the nitty gritties and every good thing that is coming out, I wanted to find out, what can you tell someone who is hesitant to do farming? What
Wonderful.
are the challenge? What are the challenges? Because I remember you spoke to me last time about the issue of your wife, that she was diagnosed with cancer, and moving into the farm. We want to get into that to find out what really made you to say, I'm going to pursue this career in farming, even though it looks like something that people undermine and say, this is not a good career, playing with the soil or playing with, animals. People, they don't want to do it. But what really pushed you to say, I'm going all in, let me do farming?
All right. By default, as I said, I'm already
Mm,
moving towards farming because
mm,
construction is closing. There are threats in construction. It's doing very well,
mm,
but it's
mm,
closing. So when we saw
mm,
the nets closing, we saw God leading us into farming without
mm,
experience. And then
mm,
out of excitement, we had resources
mm.
from the construction. We had buildings, we had houses, we had vehicles. So we started to
Mm.
sell things to acquire the farm. But now on
Okay.
the farm, the first
Mm,
challenge was my wife got sick,
mm,
and
mm,
we don't have finances, we don't have a
mm,
knowledge. We want to run the farm, so we
mm,
are either going to lose the farm at lesser value than we got it from, because we are now desperate. So, things has to work. There's no option. Things has to work. And now,
Yeah.
so if I'm to tell somebody who's hesitant, number one, if you eaten today, if you've eaten today, thank the farmer. Number one. Number two, don't go into farming the way that I did, which was the hard way. I see now the fruits. But if I'm to advise somebody, do it as a hobby. Maintain a steady income somewhere. Don't quit your job. Don't quit what you are doing, but at least do it as a side business, so that at least your income is your backup plan. But for us, God was the only backup plan, because we had no other way. We don't get income. We are not paid in our church Word of Life. Our members, no one is tithing for quite a number of years, but 3 or 4 that were more religious would say, no, we believe in tithing, we are going to tithe. But according to the records, and some of my church members are watching this, since last year, August, no one is tithing up to today, last year, August. So we were not surviving through church means and church coffers. We are not on salary. We don't get grocery from the church. Now, so if we don't make it work, we are going to die. Now, here comes a doctor who says, you know what your wife is going through, don't go for chemo, because chemo kills bad cells and good cells as well. So you are speeding your death. Don't go for antibiotics. Go for a herbal. One of the herbals he suggested is weed. Of course, not to smoke it, but like a concoction. Take the leaves, boil it, drink it. We started to do mtsine. We call it blackjack in English. Mtsine. Look at mtsine. A person who is full-blown HIV/AIDS with a low CD4 count. Let them drink mtsine for 7 days, Baba. It works like magic. It's more powerful than ARVs. Why? It builds, it boosts the immune system. Your CD4 count starts to rise as well. So we started now to eat organic, not by choice. But one, we don't have a steady income. Every morning, my kids would take aloe gavakava. They'll drink gavakava. Now it tastes like, my daughter will say, it tastes like chocolate. Why? They don't taste now that bitter, because they are used. I don't know if this will make the religious people right, but let me just pull their leg. Have you seen Rasta guy Arimu Hospital? It's a debate of another day. It's a debate of another day. But I'm saying we were now forced to go organic, where tinodya healthy stuff. Taku kama mkaka uri kubva pamombe, hauna ma-preserves, hauna chi, tiri kudya muriwo usina fertilizer, tiri kudya tsunga, and things like sorry, I forgot. I think I promise you I'll give you a pic, and then you do it later on your thing. There's a cancer plant. It's found in Zimbabwe. I don't know the name. We used to see it kuchikoro pa break time tichotema chine chimwe chitsunda chekuti tinotambisa chitange chimzerere. So that's a powerful plant. If you take the leaf, what crusher une open wound, just put it on, you see how it recover. If you see the videos where they claim that I was caught pens down, Baba, they beat me with iron stick. You saw how I was bleeding. But after 5 days, Baba, andina any I just have scars. How did I recover quickly? It's organic. So you are not doing it just for the money.
Actually, I have the video. Maybe if I may, just for our viewers, so that they can see. Just give us. We're just going to play a short clip of that, so that viewers can understand what was going on, and then you explain what you wanted to explain. Just hold on. This is the video.
Wait, Alex, I'm sorry for being involved in your marriage. What have you done in my marriage? This havoc. Can you try explain? No. Ini shamarika. Ndakaita hasha kudhara dzikapera. Alright, wakaita kangani?
Sorry pachi.
Alright.
Sorry yako mjimi wako wachinzo. Sorry yako ndei. ndikaexplaina
wakainvolve how in my marriage
for nhasi zvakafanira sezvaitika nhasi mukoma nokuseruka ndiyafona tarise foni yako.
Okay, iwewe you always drive my car. Mukadzi wangu asitomboripo. Sometimes uchitodrive mota yangu uchienda kwaunoenda. Motikari yangu inodhonza yakadhonza mota yako how many times?
You can be a witness. But
we found you driving in Star now.
But I now don't, which is a witness.
Okay, who was driving?
People can go and watch that video online, but we can see the wound that you had Mama Zimba Panap on your. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. So I was saying, you were saying that you recovered very quickly, but then maybe you can explain what happened there, because what really struck me in this video was I was curious to find out why, because when people are caught like pants down, the reaction is totally different. But in this case, there is something that is because one, you do not admit to sleeping with anybody, but I want to find out from you what really happened. If you respond to that, then we can quickly go back to the subject that we're talking about the farming and how you recovered.
Thank you. I was not caught unaware. I knew one way or the other this would come out, and I'm not running away from that. One thing that I've loved and appreciated in life is that every event that happens is not a coincidence. It's either it's a lesson for me to learn, and it has given me great exposure, and with all the ups and downs that my family has gone through, especially my wife, for 18 years, we have seen the ups and downs, and then God was directing us into something. But I want to come back on all of this on a different subject. But let me just touch maybe for 2 minutes if I can. In construction, I'm a pastor. I don't know how to lay a brick on top of another. I don't know how to put a spirit level. I'm in a Zimbabwean community in Port Elizabeth where they will say kunzima kumsebenzi. Yet there's a pastor who is doing it. Yet I've gone it. Then and then you go and hire a person who has been a builder for 7 years. Yet he's staying in a mkuku or in a bobos. Yet he's a builder qualified, and then the allegations will be you are using fellow Zimbabweans as a cheap labor. Yet the money that I'm giving you is exactly what a white person is giving you by picking you at the roadside. So because right now I'm Zimbabwean, I can't work for another Zimbabwean, because when you build your house, when I'm building your house as a contractor, I buy a car from the prophet. The builder will say, mota yatengwa nezia rangu inini ndindakashanda pambapa. But kana zia rako richitenga mota, wadi kunotenga wega, because you've been a builder for 7 years. And I'm not a builder, but because I know how to charge a client and I know how to package myself to a client, which you don't know. Because when I kana usina mota uripa road, uripa ma robots, we charge 86,000 for a 3-bedroom flat. Why urufamba netsoka? But in Indica we are package baba. Don't my websites. Don't you client? I'm giving you a guarantee. If I build your house, there is a contract. You know, don't charge 120,000. Do ya kwa uru charge 300 rand a day. So that created enmity, and most of the robberies and hijack that I got when I was in construction were from my fellow Zimbabweans, where some of them they don't have papers, so you give them cash and they know to be withdraw 10,000 last. So it started. Go to Zimbabwe and Port Elizabeth Facebook page. You see the threats from 2001, and the issue of sleep with women is not the issue of yesterday. It's been an issue where I say to the people, why can't you come ne V11? Because aurane mukadzi unu singabatwe wakangwara zvakaita sei, because kana mwana achoziya kuti urane vakadzi vevanhu, kuratidza kuti pane masigns. So anyone ane V11 akanyengwa, come and tinyadzise Satan, because I cannot go unpunished. So there have been people who have tried, but hapana nevile hapana. So during the when we moved into farming, a lot was said. No one is working for a white person. We brought them Zimbabwean community to our farm, and there's a lot that they saw how we are doing stuff. So during COVID, we fed 600 Zimbabwean families. I'll tell you why I fed 600. It was not by choice. We got a call from a consul from the Zimbabwean embassy and says, Apostle, we heard you are doing a charity work in your area. We want to appreciate. We want to do also write a list of people, contact details, address, and food details. We want to send parcels. Then I went to the guys, Zimbabwean embassy through Cape Town has done this. Let's do it. List, people started to write list, and then the Zimbabwean embassy never gave me any parcel. Now I'm sitting with a list of names, and people are saying Chipunza, it's Otsi, Arupiwa Mari Nema donors go UK in our name. Now my wife said, you know what? Let's take our proceeds from the farm and feed people. Then I say to the people, guys, I'm coming to a place called Woma location. I'm coming to a place called Darcy. You know, Varuda Mama pastors. My pastors, we started to give pastors. Papa Nyuru wanzi, Arupa ma pastors, Vakadza Chirara now. Darara navo kupi. Because I work with my wife. One of the stuff, Baba, that has been a blessing to me is that in the piggery, I'm with my wife. In the crop farming, I'm with my wife. In the poultry, I'm with my wife. I can leave here just for 2 minutes, so my wife knows my whereabouts because I work with her, and all the payments she handles the cash, but she doesn't sit at home. We work together. Now there is a Saturday that I posted on the Zimbabwean group that I'm coming with. We launched the milk. I'm coming with milk. I'm coming with pork, I'm coming with vegetables, I'm coming with chicken. You can order. So people, they put their orders through WhatsApp. So I came to PE, I started to sell. Then I received a phone call 6:30 on Saturday. I know my wife is watching and we'd agree. We don't want to go to the merits of the case because it's still in the hands of the law. But this is free of charge. I'll give this, as I told you that time. Then I received a phone call. Fundis Murukfa Mary, it's my birthday, by a guy called Nathan. I gave you his contact. Farm 5 kg. I said, I'm not in the farm. I'm in PE, which is about 47 Ks. But I'll be in the farm later. That was about 6:30 in the evening. And then he says, no, I would love to come. I'm driving. Then I said, you know what? Let's meet in a place called Utenek. Because Utenek in my farm is about less than 8 Ks. So rather come closer than to PE. What I'll do is I'm running a place where I bought the place. It's a tavern during lockdown. So I'm doing Chisanyama, Gochi, it's Zimbabwe. And then the Tosa guy is running the tavern. So let's meet at this tavern because they know it's a pastor's place. Let's meet there. She drop a few things. I'll leave my car there. And then I'll use your car and you drop me at the farm. I'll give you your meat. Then we agreed, what is 100 rand. So I went to the place. The guys, I saw the car was already parked. In the car, there were 3 people. I'm the 4th one. Then I went to my place and then I took the meat. We started Gochera, and then I asked the Tosa guy that, hey, these guys are drinking. Give them my carry packs and then let them have their time. Then I started to go to the counter. I'm taking my cash. And then Nathan was drunk before he came. Now he's drinking. He wants to drive back to drop me at the farm. And I said, Nathan, you can't drive like that. I would rather let me drive. Now, there is a lady, Catherine, in the car. She can't drive. She's the one.
Let's not mention name because
okay,
since this case is still in the hands of the police. Let's not mention names. Okay. Let's just continue.
Yeah. Now, Mota Munano 3 and in Indawish 4. The lady cannot drive, though she has got a driver's license. Why? It's at night and the tavern is pegged. There are a lot of cars. She can't negotiate to drive a Buddha. So I drove out. Takunze single driver. Then we drove right to my area. Then I put 100 rand fuel. Now there is a quantum that is following us. I saw the quantum coming, but I can't really think they're following us because I didn't know what was happening. Now from the garage, we put fuel. Then we drove into the farm. Once I'm driving into the farm, our farm is the last one in the road. So if any car is behind us, you must turn on the neighbors. But if you continue with us, then I know you're coming to our farm. So I drove in the farm. Then I saw the car is now coming, the speed, and they're flashing the lights. So I just went in, and then I drove. I drove like I'm parking to see who's coming. That quantum came right and hit in our front. Once it hit our front, 5 men came out with Simbi, my golf stick. From that combi. Nathan is at the back, the lady is at the back. I'm sitting next to a guy next to me, and I'm the one driving. All of the 5 people ran to me. Reason being that they thought my ammunition was with me, but now I'm not driving my car, so I didn't have the ammunition. So they thought that's why all of them ran to the driver's seat to pull me out before I could take anything out of me. Now I'm pulled out, mota munemanu 3, and then ndakatanga kurowa. Then the lady screamed and says, "This is my former husband," because they are not together. The guy stays with another wife, where they've got a child. So they're screaming, "That's my husband," because he was the last one to jump out. And then they started to hit me. Rushansa Mota, sorry to use these words, but wakakwira mukadzi wangu kangani. Come on, man.
Yeah.
I'm saying,
I think
which
that's
story? Yeah. So
okay.
Let me finish on this. Awubatwe pens down. Pasina mukadzi wacho, number 1. Number 2, zviri kunzi wanga uchimwa. Vanhu vaishuta video, vakadi kushuta video ravanhu vari kumwa to have evidence. Number 3, mumota tiri 4. How can I have pens down? Ndiri mota muno 1 4. So after the noise, others are running because vanhu vari kurowa. But I was the one akarowa more, and the other guy. My wife heard the screams and the noise in the farm, so she came out. What's happening? Shikanzi murume wenyu anokwira mukadzi wangu. Upi mukadzi wenyu? Kupi? Mambata kupi? Because the last text message I heard, he said he's the Chisanyama. He's now coming with someone to get 5 kg. No, man, this is a scam. What? And then they started to be violent. Then my wife is saying, "Stop beating him. Give me the facts. Tell me the story." And then they forced me and my wife into a taxi, took us to a certain house where the other video is seated next to someone with a yellow thing. That's my wife next to me. Why did they cut off my wife out of the video? Is because they want to drive a narrative that was caught pens down. Arowa ungenyuka pin number boys abatwe nemukadzi wemunhu. Kupi mfamangu. Ndina 1 4, ndina 1 3. So the whole thing does not make sense, but it happened on a Saturday, right? Now, where are the pictures of the pens down? And he didn't put his wife in the so if you see the videos, it's the one video which was cut in and number 4, ukabatwa nemukadzi wemunhu, the least you could do is to beg for mercy. Ndabatwa maybe the Satan, look for someone to blame. Okumbira regerero, aiwa ndakazviita ndiregererewo. Wozouya pa Facebook woti aiwa ndakabvuma because ndakarowa. But ini ndikurowa still ndichiramba. So I'm guilty in the sense where I said, I'm sorry for driving the car, not knowing it's the car of your ex. That's what I'm wrong. But not motor driver. Yes, driver through a guy called Nathan who was authorized and is the uncle. Now, when this happened, they took my phones, they took the cash. And then the police came on a Sunday, 4 a.m. to the house where we were logged in when they were demanding money because my wife used their phone to call the police. It's the matter that will appear in court where I was forced, me and my wife, to a certain house and did not with anyone. And I challenged them to prove it. So it happened Saturday night till Sunday morning. Now, the videos came out on Thursday because they were blackmailing and demanding cash. I can't pay for something I've never done. Now, they posted on a Thursday, yet Wednesday, I was back in the Zimbabwean community selling again. So people were like, but mfesa karo you nasa to yachitengesa muriwo wanangasina maronda hacho. I recovered quickly, yet, it was bad. I've got medical reports, I've got x-rays, but by grace of God, I recovered quickly. So I didn't want to come back to media and say the story. Why? I don't eat from the media, number 1, and I don't owe anyone explanation. tomboti ndabatwa ndatadzira mukadzi wangu nemhuri yangu. So what we then did, which was very important, was to change the security at the farm, to put my family at a safe place, because this has been threat since 2011. Before I ran to media, let me fix my family, report to those that are in authority, my business partners in UK, in Australia, to say, guys, this is what happened. We are still having the story with the police. My clients, this is what happened. I don't have my phones because they took my phone. So the process of SIM swapping with the case, that is the police, you need the case number and things like that. And then what else again? And we phoned our families in Zimbabwe from my wife's side and my own family to say, guys, this is what happened. This is the story. Whatever that will come on media will be something else. But this hear from us. So we didn't want to jump the gun and come to media. Guys, there are people threatening me. They'll put the video. But what I wanted and what I prayed for was, I even told the guy who was recording that when he says, must I post or must I not? I'm like, no, post, because that's the purpose. You shoot the video, post it. And by posting, he's actually proving what he did, but he can't prove what I did to him or what I did to his wife. So for me, Baba, I don't respond to allegations. I respond to something that is a fact. And based on that story, Baba, we are coming because there are good developments on that story. But if succeeding in a Zim community, if posting your progress, because our progress we've been posting live on my Facebook, not the materials we have acquired through profits of the farm. They don't know what I'm driving, they don't know the houses I'm owning, but it's the hukus that I'm looking after, is the nguruwe that I'm busy with. That's what I post every day. So if that is bragging, then you don't know what you're talking about. Because the purpose was, let's people to go entrepreneur. Thank God for COVID. I've been preaching before COVID. Kutishandisa maoko. Number two, also behind that, which I'll come with evidence and proof next time when you have me again, is we have got Zimbabwean men abusing their women. Mkazano square achishanda kuma Indians ashanda mbachpi 120. Murume is stingy. I'm an advocate for women and children. I was raised by a woman who was severely beaten because arutengesa muriwo achinzi kutengesa musika kumbare zvinoitwa nemahure uri hure handiri hure pamba pangu bamai vavo vachirohwa muriwo ichikandwa muroad. So in Port Elizabeth, if you are going through stuff, Baba, I help women, I donate. But men to men, when you give to women, they feel they want to give you back. So if you're not strong enough, they might give you your body. But that's between you, your character, and your conscience and your integrity, unless it is proven. So we started then to do that. When I post something on the group, women will applause. Men will be like, okay, Chipunza. Sorry to use that word, because that's the word they were using. Chipunza, he's doing that. But let's not say zisipo. Vaifana kubata mukadzi wacho handiti vobata inini votigarisa pasi votizvambaradza vobudisa vhidhiyo voti vanhu vari 2 ava ngavarambe tione. Ndozotsvaga defense statement that I'll use your platform to say baba paipa pambakaipa ndairohwa. But how can you be beaten nesimbi musoro yeti uchiti handina kukwira mukadzi wako? No, ndiudze kuti wakakwira mukadzi wako ngani baba handidanani nemukadzi wako iye uri kunyepa. And the more you say no, the more the guys become aggressive. Saka munhu ane chikoro akaona 2 mavideos anoya conclusion. But if someone now, because the problem even with the church is we have got a crowd that has got itching ears. They want to hear the bad scandals. So that's what so preachers now who preach not the gospel, but they'll preach what we call they become crowd pleasers, because crowd no. So I'm not after the crowd, I'm after the person, because the person who was traumatized, I was beaten in front of my 2 kids. They saw me in the pool of blood. So according to South African law, when you open a case, doctor, I told they don't call the ambulance. I want to be back at the farm, because it has been the whole night locked in a certain place that I've never been, and my kids thinks I'm dead, because there is this issue in South Africa where it's farm murderers. us. So my kids are traumatized. So the first thing was I need to spend time with the kids. So I went to the hospital on a Monday, then I was discharged on a Wednesday. So I spend, even up to now, the most important business I'm doing is to spend time with my family and my kids, laughing a lot. But at least I'm coming out on media because security of the farm has been beefed. My personal security have been beefed, and also my family is in a safe place. Because these guys, they are still threatening up to now with the screenshots that I also send you, but so that we can prepare for something else. But now, munhu asingagara nemukadzi anogara negirlfriend, right? Samwana mukomana, not even looking after the family. Onzwa kunzi motikari yako iri kushandiswa yataiona ichidrivwa napastor. He comes all the way kugara muno muPE just for 3 days, tracking the wife kuti azobata. Akatadza kuzobata chaizvo boss, akabva asvika mota mune vanhu 4. Instead yekuti vachidzokera, their whatever secretive and what has been exposed. Hanzi mota ine tracker. Ndikachibudisa matracker acho anoenda kumaloji kana vanhu vanachikwirana pasi pemuti or whatever. Tipe zvinobatika because inini chakurambira ka, but ndisakurambire have tangible evidence. So I want to say this, guys, if you don't want to be talked about, Baba, if you don't like the heat, get out of the kitchen. I know what is coming, and I know what is you know, when you try to do something, you become the topic. When you try to do something that before you even start to do something, we were introduced to the casualties. Kuna land inopiwa foreigner. Locals achita toy muchapizirwa pafamu mazodai. But as now kuitika zvawakaprofita, what's happening is totally different. Because of that, now they're coming with all this but my family and I, we are not moved, and business is doing very well, and I've been actually marketed to a next level. So for those that are wanting to know the truth, Apostle Langton Chipunza was never caught pens down with a married woman. But can I also say something? Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Let me give it back to you.
Okay, right. Because what really kind of like struck me and to all our viewers and listeners was that when I saw the video, I said to myself, something is not adding up here. And I reached out to you. I think you took almost, 2 weeks to respond. And I said, I'm not gonna be on a hullabaloo to say, let me publish this story, because I saw most of the social media platforms, they posted it. But I said, I need to have a chat with this man. I want to find out what really happened, because everyone, as I said on the top of this program, obviously we're constrained of time. We just left with about 5-10 minutes to conclude, because we have
and remember, that's where I said, Baba, I salute your integrity, because everyone jumped. Even gossip sites of people who are even maure chaiwo ndio vakatotanga kutondimanyisa, you know, as if we were training. But listen to this, Baba. If there is a video of you beating me, you must have a video of me with pens down, so that you prove your case. If you have got the guts to shoot my beating, you must shoot my pens down. And the only married woman I was caught with in the video is my wife. Where is the other wife? Are you telling me kuti vanhu 5 vakajambira inini vakasiya mukadzi achitopfeka otiza? Aiwa, amusiyeka munhu. Munofana kubata kakunyanya ningirikini.
So looking at this, you said this case is before the courts, and everything is being taken care of. We don't want to delve into much of the merits of the case. Looking at it, at the community that you say that you helped some of them, what do you plan on doing? Are you going to withdraw your hand from helping honest Zimbabweans, or you are going to forgive and continue?
Thank you for that question. I'll be quick with that one. At first, my church is not a Zimbabwean church. If I have Zimbabweans in my church, it's either 2 or 3 people, if not a keyboard player and someone. My church is local people, whites, Indians, Xhosas, and mainly coloreds. So my church was not affected. But my church always say to me, Mfundis, why do you always go back and help a Zimbabwean community that is after you? Because the first robbery and attack in my house was Zimbabweans. That's the first one. So I felt before I think of helping any Zimbabwean, I must cut off my hands. Then I thought, you know what? The devil is a liar. I want to say this, and I'll use your platform. Baba, I'm now going all hands out to help women and children who are in abusive relationship. Why? A married woman is being told nehama dzemurume shingirira ndozvinoita murume achinorara nemuko oita vana uko otengera girlfriend mwana wegirlfriend imba asingatengeri nekuchengeta vana vake. Handiti hama dzemukadzi dzinenge dzichionamata, handiti, but ezvinozi nepamavidhio akunze murambe ihure. Hure ripi? Handiti hure racho ndoramai namata ndozvinoita imba. When a man does things, he goes unpunished. When a woman does things, that's all hell break loose. I'll give you a scripture. The Bible says they brought a woman caught in adultery to Jesus and said, according to the law of Moses, it says you must stone her to death. The Bible says she was caught in the very act. Jesus, in the context of adultery, said, asataita chivi tema kwete chekubashuga chekuhura, because the context ndeyekuhura. Vese varume vakasiya matombo because imhombwe. So mhombwe ndio inofunga kuti munhu wese imhombwe. Mufundisi tsotsi anofunga kuti mafundisi wese itsotsi. Murume anohura anofunga kuti mukadzi wake akuhura. So I'm saying this, if they are coming, Baba, let them come, because there are more. There's a lot that's happening in Port Elizabeth. Kune mukadzi akarohwa nemurume, and she's now recovering in the hospital. They don't have a support system. So I'm going, God gave me a vision for women called Inimba Yomzali. It's more trending in the Xhosa community. Inimba Yomzali. It's the pains that my mother went through. So I'm saying to women, usakoterwe Proverbs 31 verse 10 inonzi mukadzi. No, that mukadzi is a fiction woman. You can't find mukadzi ari Proverbs 31, because ari kutaura ndimai vaSolomon, saying to Solomon, she's more precious than ruby, because the issue, she didn't want mwana arore, because amweni vaida kugara vaida vanodiwa nemwana. But look for a virtuous woman who does this. Tine varume vanoswera makuseni vachikwenya mabhora mukadzi achishanda. Tine varume vanoda kudhakwa, ipapa vanochill sport, they are drinking and they're abusing their women. So if they come to church, I don't preach a verse to them. No, I will say, get a legal advice. You know, we give you all sides. I'm not saying I'm breaking marriages by divorcing people. No. But don't stay in an abusive relationship, because mangwana ukauraiwa vanhu vaikuti shingirira ndio vachazokuviga. So you know, I'll take this platform, Baba, and sikuzombozokera kumashure. Ngavataure kuti he vakadzi muri kupiwa hembe nachipunza, muri kuchengetwa nachipunza. Wadi kuchengeta mwana wako iwo. Se usingachengete mwana wako, uri kumira mwe murume akuchengetera vana wako. Chako chaunogona kuitsa vana. So uya ine evidence inobatika yekuti muchinda itazombata, because from 2001 to date ndichirara nokadzi wanu singabatwe. I am challenging anyone with a video, please, man.
So, right, we want to continue this conversation on another day, but I was really interested also in what you are doing in terms of farming, and I think we are going to continue this conversation, because we don't want to inundate viewers with a lot of information. Want to come another day so that you can really tell us what you are doing, and if God willing, I will need to come to the farm, and so that I can see what you are doing, so that you can document everything that we are doing there.
Exactly.
And we can talk much about that. But I want us to come back to the people that are, the market that you are reaching out to. What are the things that you are doing that you can say farming is something that I can cherish and I can do, and it has been profitable in ABCD? Just in a nutshell, as we wrap up this segment, then we will come back another day so that you can tell us more.
Number one is piggery. Nguruve inozvara vana 15, nguruve inozvara ka2 pagore, which means one pig gives you 30 piglets a year. If you've got 10 pigs, you can have 300 piglets, if I'm not mistaken, because one pig gives you 15 babies. And it farrows 2 times a year. My pigs, they farrow 3 times a year, and I'll tell you why. Is the system that we've deployed. When they suck the milk, before I wean, it's only 28 days, less than a month. Then I separate the mother from the piglets, and then 7 days the mother is on heat. I give again kono nkunzu. So I've got production. Challenge iri farming my feeds, but pork is a meat on demand in SA. The market is huge. Hence you see local people vazhinji vacho vane goita, vane mishe makumbo yeningirikini, you know, vanodya nyama steady because they've got braais Monday to Monday. So the market is huge. Then chickens don't go for 50 chickens or 100 chickens, rather leave it, because there's what we call backyard farming, thinking that it's a small scale farming. Backyard farming, it's more strenuous on resources and labor. I'll give you a simple example if I've got time. If I look after 1,000 broilers, you look after 100 broilers, the electricity you are using is the same electricity I'm using. The time you're using, the same time I'm using. But because of volume, I've got more profits and then I'll beat you. This is why people who are doing poultry are not moving from, you know, they can't see profits. They're moving from secos, now earning 40, earning 60. So if I can advise somebody, can uchida kwenda big, rather go with somebody waunogona ku partner naye through partnership, because now, like I told you, I've got options on my farm. If you are living in a flat, in a complex, you can't do it. We cannot all be farmers, but use my farm to farm your pigs. So I'm saying to you, Kenan, I can sell you 10 small pigs, 800 each to each. Tunguruwe. Ndokutengesera 10, that's 8,000. Ndokuchaja feed ye 4 months. Ndoti labor yangu, my workers ndeyangu, housing ndeyangu, knowledge ndeyangu. 4 months where uzotora zvinguruwe zvako zvakuendeseka kumarket. Wachiti apostle, I'm not coming down to Port Elizabeth. Unza nguruwe dzangu. Ndine matrack. Track rangu nobva ratakura rounza nguruwe. Saka unogona kuti pig farmer. Uri journalist. Unogona kuti pig farmer, uri mfundisi. You don't need to have a farm. You can use my farm. I've got a structure that takes 4,000 chickens. Mfundisi, ndoda kuisa 1,000 chickens. But on school yako, let's say we have got my lawyers under Nutmeg on farm. We have got my contracts. We have got people in UK that are doing that. And through them, they are no longer sending money from UK to Zimbabwe. They same fundis from my profit inside Maruku, Zimbabwe. So I'm saying also, again, that other thing. Musaenda ku Zimbabwe, munotenga mastendi ku Borodeo Brook. Enda unotenga kumusha vakazimu ziborodeo Brook muruzeva uite huku dzemazaya nyangwe dziri 5 uchadya mazaya usingatenge dyara muriwo dyara apo. You can have a mansion on a village, because we cannot continue being enslaved. Yekuti 38 years uchingobhadhara rent chete, you can't own a property.
Definitely, that is a big subject for another day. We really need to delve on what the investment in farming, why people should invest in farming, and how can they invest, and how can they partner with you. Obviously, before we wrap up this show, I want to know, how can people get in touch with you if they want to know more about farming, if they want pigs, if they want bacon from how can they get in touch with you?
Okay, right. There is a WhatsApp number, and also for calls, though it's not directly to me, because what this incident did, I asked my wife and the other interim board to be the face of Nutmeg, so that I just work from the background, because me, I'm good in production. I'm good in multiplying things. I work out the magic. So I want to be the guy Arumunda. And so we've got our offices in Port Elizabeth where people can get in touch with us. The contact number, I'm sure they are the ones on the screen, or they can send an email to info@nutmeg.com, or langton@nutmeg.com. Nutmeg is MAT for Mateo, MEAG for Megan, nutmeg.com. But on Facebook, tine page re farm, Nutmeg on farm. I wasn't active this last 2 weeks or what, but I'm coming back because most of was needed to be done and recovered has been recovered. The contact number, I'm sure is the one on the screen, +278 1430 6688. Maybe ausuda kuita partner ku farm rangu, uni farm rako kana kuti nika yard kako asuda kubatsirwa. Mfundisi ndikumurumundisire, this is why I'm here. We can help you with the small resources. Kana kuti chamwani rigani tichikupa nesari nungirwa dzeko ita so boss kubudirira kwako kubudirira kwangu.
Apostle, thank you so much for coming, and I really appreciate you coming on the show. And I'm so grateful for coming and explaining. I know we might have veered off from the initial point of the interview, but I'm so grateful for what you have given the viewers. And if you are here, you are watching this, please there's somebody who's saying,
Even
do
questions, if
you
there are
always,
questions, if there's still time.
okay, there's Charlton Kaswada is saying, do you always have red meat and slaughtered? That is Charlton Kaswada. Hands munenge mune nyama here inenge iripo inenge iri ready.
Always. Yesterday we slaughtered 4 pigs. They're already in the cold room. They will be sliced tomorrow morning. My deliveries, I need to always, because the moment we keep the pigs eating, they're eating from our profit. So always we have, but there are days where we deliver so that we don't have. I always want to deliver fresh meat. So I'd ask people, if you want meat, whether there is a function. I got a call before I came in where someone was saying there is a birthday tomorrow, please, I need 45 kgs. Fortunate is we have, but I don't like such events where I have to rush up things, because there has to be a quality as well, because we've got an abattoir who is registered. It goes through the healthy and safe procedures.
Okay, so I am here in Gauteng. I want meat. What can I do?
What I'll do for you, Baba, is I'm sending you pig, nice meat on Friday. It will be couriered straight to your doorstep. I've got cooler boxes that I buy, and then our meat is packaged and sealed with a vacuum plastic sealer, so that there is no oil, air that goes in that will cause maybe molds and what. So it's a vacuum sealer, a plastic sealer. Then we seal it we pack it in a cooler box, and then we put ice blocks, and then we've got a 24-hour courier. We've done it last week. We delivered about 45 kgs again to someone in Johannesburg, and also they wanted live Majongwe road runners. We also delivered 10 live ones. So it's the process that we do. Eggs, we are sending our eggs to UK. I'll send you the photos of the shipment that is leaving about first week of November. I think 3rd of November. We have got trays, boxes of eggs that are going, because some people are ordering fertile eggs or fertilized eggs so that they can do breeding, putting an incubator. Anyone
So,
with a question regarding the scandal? Maybe there's someone allowed there's no such a question.
okay, there is Chris Chikwanda. Apostle, keep up the good work. Always remember that imbwa don't ukura et mota zakamera, more grace, remain blessed in Jesus' name. That's Chris Chikwanda.
Thank you, Chris. God bless you.
Yeah. Anyway, people are going to watch the rebroadcast, and we're going to get more questions, and I'm going to we definitely need you in the near future so that you can answer some of the questions. So everyone who wants to, right now we are getting into the festive season. People, they want to party a lot and all of that. So anyone who is in Gauteng or who is in Mpumalanga, who is in Durban, they can get in touch with you so that they can get meat. They can get all this nice Zimbabwean stuff. Is
The
that so,
cheapest
Mr. Chipunza?
way, yes, the cheapest way is when you buy your pig now before it matures. Then we grow your pig for the last a month and a half up to December, so that at least it's cost effective. And then we'll be sending you pictures and videos of your pigs, whether you want to buy 10 of them or 5 or 3, and then we are growing your pig. The value of it, we won't sell you at 4,000 or whatever the price might be. It might be 1.8 because you bought it whilst it was young. It's eating already what feeds we have got on the farm. So it's some another way that is also, we've got Tosa people that are doing Stockville. They pay in January and they pay every month, and December they come and take their 60 pigs slaughtered, so that when they share their meat, they know they've got a meat up to the end of January. This is where Zimbabweans we fail to plan. So you can have your meat right through. And then the as well as the milk as well. We come about 1,000 liters a day, except weekends where we want the cows to rest. We are still working on ways how to heat it according to the standard so that it can travel for a distance. Because I got a quote, someone wants it in Botswana. I'm not yet that side, but what we are good at with our milk is to kodza mkaka sewe kwa gumbo Zimbabwe, when makodzera tinoita tinobvisa mutuwi mvura hatirase ndiyo yatinopa nguruve, so that you taste the reach of lacto yekuZimbabwe.
So we are out of time, and we really want to make sure that we don't preempt everything that we are going to talk on the next installment. But once again, I can never thank you enough for coming onto the program and Motuza, what happened. And I know people are appreciating you coming here on the program. There's Paul Kaleda Katewe. I like the fact that I did not write all level, that Chipunza did not write all level, but oops, he has a business package and a visionary. I learned a lot. Business salute, guy. Salute. Baba, keep it up. That is Paul Kaleda.
Paul Kaleda Gatewe is in Port Elizabeth, and we grew up together in Glenora. So they are saying what they see, not what they heard on social media. And I appreciate him. He's been a supportive brother.
Wow. Thank you so much, sir. Any last words that you want to say to the viewers who want to contact you on the issue of meat? What can any last words that you want maybe to tell them if they don't get you on phone, what can they do if they want to get in touch with you?
I've got guys that are working now 24/7. So every phone call is received, text message or WhatsApp. Sometimes maybe odd hours, it might be a challenge. But whenever we see a message, a text message or WhatsApp, we get back to our clients. And you can negotiate whatever you're going through, whether you want to start a small business of Chisanyama. Please speak to us. Sometimes you don't have cash. We can have different agreements to say, how can you help me to start? But I want you to go knowing this. There are 3 principles of a soil. Ivurine mari, pansoro pevu pane mari, muvumune mari, paspevu pane mari. Saka mwana Zimbabwe, whoever is watching, please utilize, grab a soil somewhere and utilize it. There is money in the soil.
Thank you so much. I'll say we hope to see you next time. Please pass our greetings to Mama and the family, and we really appreciate you coming onto the program.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. That was Apostle Chipunza coming live from Port Elizabeth, straight from his farm, and I was taking us through the experience that he went through the past few days. Did you enjoy the program? Do you have any questions that we have for him? Do you want to venture into farming? Are you struggling in your business, or are you struggling to find work? Do you want to venture into that business? There are options that he's giving up, and he has proven records that he can deliver on his promises. So please get in touch with him so that you can if you want meat, especially this coming time where we are going to be having parties all the way, weddings and all of that, please get in touch with him so that you can get your meat fresh and all your stuff. But I really want to thank you for everyone who came on the program. We are JCTV Zimbabwe, a channel of choice for all your political analysis, your stories. If you have got an African story that you want to tell us, please come onto the program. We really want to hear from you. And very soon, we want to have again Mr. Chipunza so that he can tell us more on the farming business that he's doing. But to everyone who watched the show yesterday, what do you think about the show that we did? If you are also there's a question, where is your church is based in Port Elizabeth? Please get in touch with him on the numbers that I posted on the screen. Get in touch with him. He will be able to assist you. Charlton, if you want to get in touch with Mr. Chipunza. But anyway, if you're watching this as a rebroadcast, you know what to do. You know like and comment and share this video. This has been your boy reminding you that rise up, Africa. The world is waiting for you. I'll see you next time. Tomorrow I'll be having another guest. I'm hoping that tomorrow I will have Lieutenant Benson Matinyarare. Want to talk about what is happening here in South Africa on the issue of the land, the confrontation that is happening between EFF and the BOA. What does it mean? What does it mean for South Africa? Want to also to delve into that, and what is happening in Zimbabwe. The elections, they are going to be postponed. What is happening? Are they not going to happen? Are they going to happen? All those subjects, we are going to delve into that. But thank you so much once again for joining us. This has been quite a long program than normal, but when we are talking, you know, we don't know where the conversation goes. But this is interesting for every one of you who are watching. I'll see you again once again next time. Thank you for watching, and it's good night for now. Thank you very much to everyone who was participating, your comments and your thoughts. I really appreciate them. Good night for now. This is your boy JC signing out.